Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr., Abraham Lincoln. When you think of these names, what comes to your mind? Well, what comes to my mind is the great activists and leaders who fought to end inequalities all across the globe. Inequalities is something that is still a very serious issue affecting billions of people around the world. In this speech, I will discuss the three main inequalities that I feel are currently the most effective issues around the world. Listening to this speech will give you a more deeper understanding and knowledge on the facts and statistics that back evidence of these inequalities. The three main inequalities that I believe are currently the most effective around the world is going to be wealth inequalities, race inequalities, and gender inequalities. Now, the first inequality that I will cover is going to be gender inequality. We all know that gender inequality has definitely came a long way since the early 19th century in the US, when women were not even allowed to vote. But the fact remains that gender inequality is still a very serious issue affecting millions of women around the world. In a post by Julie Wilson titled 5 Issues Fueling Gender Inequality, there's some amazing data that is shown in this post. Some of the data is that even though women are more educated than men, earning more bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees, women still only make 80% of what men make in the workforce. Some more data from this post states that women only make up 5% of CEOs in the US, showing just how little of an opportunity women get at promotions. On a more serious topic with gender inequality, there is human trafficking. Human trafficking is a very dangerous and serious crime that is currently going on in the world. A post by Carolina Bigelow titled 10 Examples of Gender Inequality states that young women and young girls make up 71% of human trafficking victims all across the world. Of those 71% of girls, 75% of those women are trafficked for sexual exploitation. So this data shows not only how big of an issue gender inequality is, but how dangerous it can be. Now, the next topic I'll be discussing is going to be wealth inequality. Wealth inequality is one of the larger inequalities that is currently affecting people all around the US. Program Director Chuck Collins on Inequality.org states that 3 men in the US make more than the total bottom 64% of earners in the entire US. Some more data on Inequality.org states that the top 1% of earners earn more than the total bottom 90% of earners all combined. This data shows not only how large the gap in the wealth is in America, but some more data shows that it's only getting larger. Between 1990 and 2020, billionaire net worth has increased 1,100%, while median household net worth has only increased 5.37%. So this data on wealth shows not only how serious of an issue wealth is, but that it's only getting larger. Now, the last inequality will be talking about is going to be racial inequality. Racial inequality is something that's been getting a lot of publication these days with social media and news. One of the biggest inequalities that is affecting the US right now today. A post by David B. Gresky titled State of the Union. David B. Gresky is an author at Stanford. Some data in this post states that Black and African American families only make 32% of what the white American families make in the US. Some more data shows that for every dollar of wealth the white American family owns, the Black American family only owns 8 cents. On a more serious topic with racial inequality is the health racial inequality. A post titled Risk for COVID-19 Hospitalization and Deaths, posted by cdc.gov, states that the Black African American and Hispanic families are 3 times as likely to be hospitalized by COVID-19 and 2 times as likely to die from COVID-19. Some more data shows that African Americans are 2 to 3 times more likely to suffer from hypertension and diabetes, resulting in a higher risk of heart attack and heart failure. So all of this data really shows just how prevalent of an issue inequality is around the world, affecting billions and billions of Americans. Hopefully, with more attention towards these topics, the whole world can work together to eventually end these inequalities for good.